ఈటీవీ వీక్షకులకు నమస్కారం. చెప్పాలని ఉంది కార్యక్రమానికి స్వాగతం. ఈ రోజు కార్యక్రమంలో ముఖ్య అతిథి చంద్ర మిషన్ అంతర్జాతీయ అధ్యక్షులు శ్రీ KamleshD.Patel గారు. దేశ విదేశాల్లో ధ్యానానికి విశిష్ట ఆదరణ కల్పించడంలో చంద్ర మిషన్ అంతర్జాతీయ అధ్యక్షులు శ్రీ KamleshD.Patel గారు విశేష కృషి చేస్తున్నారు. ఆయన కార్యనిర్వహణ సిబ్బంది అభ్యాసకులు వారిని దాజీ అని ప్రేమగా పిలుచుకుంటారు. ఆయన ఆధ్వర్యంలో ధ్యానం, ఆధ్యాత్మికత విశ్వవ్యాప్తం చేయటమే చంద్ర మిషన్ లక్ష్యంగా ముందుకు సాగుతుంది. మానవ కర్మల పరంపరను తొలగించే దివ్యౌషధమే ప్రాణాహుతి ధ్యాన ప్రక్రియ అని ఆయన స్పష్టం చేస్తున్నారు. రాజీ,
నమస్కారం సార్.
What are the aims and objectives of the mission? How far you are going to achieve that?
Well, it's up to God's grace. But I would like to see that people do learn meditation. Meditation is the key. I put it very simply, that if you want to be happy and peaceful, can you enjoy this happiness even though you may have everything in life, unless and until you remove this restlessness, unfocused tendencies of the mind? That means one has to arrive at harmonious state. And this harmonious state cannot be possible without this contemplative mind. This contemplative mind is not possible without regulating the mind. And this regulation is not possible without meditation. So ultimately, meditation leads to individual happiness. Only through this happiness one can spread love within the family as well as in the community, and finally with our ultimate God. I like to bring this awareness to as many people as possible that yes, it is easy, it is very simple. With the help of the techniques that we use in heartfulness, it really becomes a child's play. People say, oh, I cannot meditate. But here with this pranahuti, it becomes just like that, possible to go into samadhi instantly, actually.
Daji, you and your previous masters often telling about the universal harmony, love, compassion, all those things. Only through the meditation, we can achieve that thing in the world. But in fact, in reality also, world has divided into different countries, different religions, different castes, different subsects, different languages, and everything is there. Every country and every civilization have their own way of living the lifestyle. But is it possible to teach them this kind of meditation to bring them along?
Definitely. We have been teaching this meditation since 1945 in an organized way, when Shri Ramchandra Mission was established 75 years back. But prior to this establishment in a formal way, it used to spread this message to all society members in Uttar Pradesh, especially around Fatehgarh area. The division of countries and various religions and cultures and languages, actually it adds a lot of values. It makes the humanity very rich. Unfortunately, though religions are supposed to unite, when you even look at this word religion, when you break it down into re and legion, it means they are supposed to unite. Religion. Legion is a word derived from ligament, ligare, ligament, to unite. But unfortunately, all these religions are today competing with each other. And that is the main problem. Spirituality like this, it actually unites people. We have people from almost 165 countries. They all come under one umbrella. We have people from Pakistan, we have people from Iran, Saudi Arabia, we have people from Israel. Imagine Israeli and Saudi Arabian meditating under one roof.
It's really wonderful.
And we have a lot of Christians and people, even from China, they come here. We have right now a contingency of more than 200 members from China. It's a joy to see many citizens from across the world coming together, exchange their culture. Instead of cultures dividing, various cultures coming together enrich the humanity actually, and which is a beautiful thing.
Raji, in fact, you have spread over 160 more countries. You are devotees of more than millions from all over the world. But without even a single publicity or anything, how could you achieve all those things?
Word of mouth. And now we are making a lot of efforts. It shook me when I was reading one particular Swamiji from India while I was in New York. big hoarding, you know, so and so has arrived and please attend the program. Entry fee, it starts with $1,000 all the way to $200. I was quite shocked. And what do they teach in there? Nothing worthwhile. And a lot of people, they say, oh, if I can spend more money, maybe I'll have Brahma Vidya. But nothing of that sort happens. That changed my approach. And say, oh, my Lalaji Maharaj, he never advertised. Babuji never advertised. After him, Chariji came, he also never advertised. But it's time that we do some active programming like this and bring this awareness on a larger scale. So now we have started going to schools and colleges and corporates and seek the help of TV channels like yours to spread this. And if people are interested, they can try it. And I assure you, you will never regret. If you try this meditation even for half hour, you will see the change in your thinking instantly. And if you do it very regularly, day after day, you become the messenger of God. See, we make the silent changes in the society through such individuals who feel transformed within themselves, and they themselves become the loudspeaker or the mouth conveying the message of what we are trying to offer through heartfulness way.
There's the $1 million question among your own disciples.
Oh.
From where did you get the funds to organize all those things? Some of them are very free here.
Yes.
Yeah. Please tell me that.
Wow, that's $1 million question itself. You see, this system offers, the principle is that the basic thing that we offer, the practices, are for free. And naturally, common mind would ask, where from are we getting these funds and making such a beautiful ashram? It needs funds, it needs resources. So I took up this challenge. I shared with my members, only 50,000 members, that look, you don't take out money from your pocket, but I wish you just save 50 rupees a day. Suppose you are negotiating a refrigerator for your house, or a television for your house, or a watch, or cloth, or vegetables. Just save few rupees a day.
That's quite interesting.
Right? And when 50,000 people come together with 50 rupees a day, calculate it. Right? So,
45 lakhs.
yes, and 300 days, if not 365 days.
300 days into another.
But 75 crores. Very easily.
Really wonderful.
And nobody is hurt. They don't have to take it out from your pocket. I am just saying, do the saving. And any business person, everybody wants to make a transaction with you. I go to buy a shoe. I tell them, would you give me a break of 50 rupees? There you go. And they'll be happy to do it.
So small amounts make big things.
Big things. Every little drop adds up. One gentleman from one sanstha came and he was going after politicians. I said, stop running after them. What do you get from them? He says, we are getting a big sanction of government funds. Our ashram needs all these things. I say, how many members do you have? He said, we have 25 lakhs members. He says that. I say, imagine if all these people give only 5 rupees, just 5 rupees savings a day. Imagine what you can make. You don't have to run after these guys.
You are from which country?
I'm from Australia, sir.
What are your experiences with the Ramchandra mission and meditation?
Okay, so I've been doing this for about 30 years. I started in Switzerland and when my husband was working for the UN. And I can tell you that from the first meditation, it changed my life.
Okay.
I knew straight away that this was something that was going to help me transform, live more peacefully, more balanced existence, and find a higher purpose in life.
Are you handling any special things here?
Yes, I'm involved in publications, in archives. I'm the editor-in-chief of Heartfulness magazine. And generally, there's a million things going on here in Kanna, so we all get involved in training and all sorts of other things as well.
How many disciples from the foreign other countries?
From other countries?
Other than India?
Other than India, probably around 100,000 to 200,000 around the world, in about 160 countries.
160 countries. How many from Australia?
Australia, at the moment, there are over 2,000 active members.
Okay, Master is often telling about the Samadhi Sthiti in the meditation. Did you attain that samadhi sthiti?
Yes, in fact, in the very first meditation. And that was what made me realize there was something very special about this. But of course, samadhi is not an absolute state. So it changes. There are degrees of samadhi according to your progress. So in the beginning, you get a glimpse of something and you know, whoa, this is taking me to a different dimension of human existence through samadhi because of the transmission.
Yeah.
But then as you progress over time, it deepens to different states and eventually it becomes so that even when you're conscious and you're working, the connection is still there like when you're in samadhi.
What really attracted you to come over here and follow this the Ramchandra mission?
It's something which, or how to describe it, it's such a personal feeling of going beyond mundane existence and feeling that connectivity with everybody else as well, from all cultures, all backgrounds. Together, it's like you all transcend together.
Yeah.
You understand a very different purpose for human life.
We heard that in very early age of you attracted to the mission. How did this happen?
Nothing happens, I think, without some passion to learn something.
Yeah.
You want to become a great cricket player, you have to eat, drink and breathe cricket. If you have to go after God realization, inner perfection, evolution of consciousness, all these things, becoming more and more joyful from inside. Earlier, all these ideas they were not there in my mind, but the fundamental question was always looming in my heart.
Yeah.
Why am I here? What am I supposed to do next? With all this acquisition, help me become happier. So these fundamental questions were there, and all this got quietly, satisfactorily answered by my Guruji. He says, look, you must look after your family life. Don't become sannyasi. You must get into spirituality also. Balance both bhautik as well as adhyatmik jivan. And like a bird that flies with two wings, we have to also allow our life, our entire life, be balanced on these two, spiritual as well as material life, and move on.
Daji, about your parents.
Well, my father was a very religious person, and so is my mother. He was quite concerned about my, this craze for God realization. And he became very worrisome when I started meditation. He thought I would become sannyasi. In fact, I did become, but only for one day. I went off from my home one morning and settled down near one temple, Narmada River. And I joined this Aghori Baba's group who does parikrama from the origin of Narmada to the end of it. They go back and forth during the entire lifetime. They do this, one end to the other end. They spend whole life on Narmada. So I asked the eldest, he was almost 80 plus perhaps. Not me, but he asked me, what are you doing here? I said, look, I would like to become your chela. If you can allow me, I will serve you. Please grant me some Brahma Vidya. He said, to tell you the truth, I feel like crying. I haven't achieved anything. Neither of all these 15, 20 people who are serving me. None of us have attained even peace of mind. There is no guru to guide us. You look for a guru and you go back home. You don't have to leave your home in realization of God, which is a big mistake people make. So I came back home. 2 months later, I find this guru, and it changed my life. After experiencing all these things, I go back to my father. Father, I see you always doing this worship with a lot of heart. Can you tell me one good experience you have had ever since you began this, almost 55, 60 years? One good experience that I can share with my children, that your grandfather had this experience. He kept on thinking and thinking and thinking. I haven't had any experience. I have done so much morning, evening puja, so much of fasting, so much of follow-ups of rituals, but not a single experience. I said, are you looking for some experience? Yes, I am looking for some satisfaction in my heart, but I'm not getting it. So would you like to try this meditation? He says, why not? I'm open to it. So I took him to a nearby preceptor, the trainers of the system. I was at that time 20 years old. So I took him. In the very first meditation session, in the middle of this meditation, he started crying like a baby. He had such a profound experience. He said, this is something I've been looking for. I wasted my 60 years of sadhana. I said, no, nobody wastes anything. Everything is like a steps, foundation, one leading to the other. So please don't blame your life like that. See. And ever since, I think, right from that first session till his last breath, I don't think he ever missed a single meditation. He would do it at least twice, once in the morning, once in the evening. And just for a few minutes, he would sit and pray. And this sort of discipline, I don't think even I have, to tell you the truth. So they were very happy that yes, this is the right path to follow. And coming from a father, I think it reassures you, and a person who really followed religion to the book, by the book. So it gave me a lot of confidence that yes, I must go along this path.
Could you please explain us about what is the meaning of truthfulness as well as cleaning the process? It is the two main things in your meditation. This thing. What are those two?
Oh, the one main thing is this meditation on the heart. Presence of divinity has to be felt in the heart. There is no other organ that can help us perceive God like the heart. So we meditate on the heart. The truth of reality can be felt in the heart. See? And it is possible only through this pranahuti. I said this time and again, even to the scientific minds, that let us say you have 5 students or 5 young seekers who are trying to meditate. Let them find whichever method they can meditate with. Write their experience for 1 week. Another week, you exchange those methods with each other. Like if you followed method A, another person followed method B, another person followed. You exchange these different methods and experience, write your things. Then you practice as per heartfulness way, but without transmission. Just think of the presence of divine light in your heart and try to experience. And finally, you sit with a trainer who would transmit to you this pranahuti and see the experience. Now, compare all these things yourself. You become the scientist. You do the research on your own. You adopted this method, what was the experience? Now you have meditated with pranahuti, what is the experience? I guarantee you, 100 out of 100 will say, my experience was different because of this pranahuti.
నమస్కారం మాధవరెడ్డి గారు.
నమస్కారం అండి.
ఎన్ని రోజుల నుంచి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్నారు ఇక్కడ?
ఆల్మోస్ట్ 40 years.
ఎవరు చెప్పారు మీకు ఇది? ఎందుకు వచ్చారు దీంట్లోకి?
ఫ్యామిలీ ఫ్రెండ్ ఒకతను ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్నారు, వైవి నాయుడు అని.
వైవి నాయుడు గారు, ఓకే.
ఆయన ఫ్యామిలీ ఫ్రెండ్, ఆయన దగ్గర పోయి చూసి ఇది అంతకుముందు నేను ట్రాన్సెండెంటల్ మెడిటేషన్ ఇప్పుడు 6 months దాకా చేస్తున్నాను. మెడిటేషన్ అంటే కొంచెం ఇంట్రెస్ట్, క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉన్నది. అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద క్యూరియాసిటీ ట్రై చేస్తున్నాను అది.
ఇది ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్న తర్వాత మీలో వచ్చిన మార్పులు ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా?
చాలా ఉందండి. ఇది మొదలుపెట్టిన తర్వాత ఫస్ట్ అండ్ ఫార్మోస్ట్ ఇది కోపము, ఈ టెంపర్మెంట్ ఇవంతా కూడా న్యాచురల్గా విత్ ఇన్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ ఎఫర్ట్స్ లేకుండా, ఫ్రమ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ కాకుండా న్యాచురల్ స్పాంటేనియస్గా దర్ సంథింగ్ అన్బిలీవబుల్. ఇట్స్ పర్సనల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చెప్తున్నాను.
How does one attain the samadhi sthiti?
Just like that, sir. With the help of pranahuti, you are able to dive deep within yourself. Even you will be surprised by your ability to plunge in. Only thing required is open heart, innocence, childlike state. But if you come to a guru and say, oh, I have done so much, I have been to Kailash and I have been to Makkah and I have been to Jerusalem and I know this and I have seen this temple and I have been standing on the lines of Tirupati, and say, oh, that is everything. Why should I do meditation? Nobody is inviting you to. But if you want to try something really new, you have to have some open heart. Some level of innocence has to be there. If you go to God and say, God, please teach me who you are. First of all, how would you recognize God? Many times people ask question, can you show me God? What can be your answer? Suppose if I show you God, how would you know it's God? One has to know God to know what you are being shown.
Exactly, what is the meaning of the God in your system?
It's all love.
Only love.
It's all love. Love is God.
Daji, you have a spectacular campus spread over 1,400 acres, which will be inaugurated this January. What is your vision behind creating such a huge campus, and what is your vision for the coming years?
Well, first of all, I am dreaming the dream of my Adiguru. He had this dream that he would like to build an ashram akin to Kakpushandi. He was a great sage from Ramayana times. And his ashram was such a beautiful ashram, divinely charged. So much of lush greenery. And such lush greeneries are able to retain the spiritual charge for a longer time. See? So whosoever enters such premises feels at peace, feels at home. And if they do their sadhana properly, they are bound to receive liberation in a very short time. So I would wish, my goal is that, people should come here. These premises are created so that people can come and experience their true nature. And once they realize their true nature and see the higher one, then they say, oh, we are same. Atman, recognizing Paramatman becomes very easy once we become familiar with our own Atman.
Yeah.
So that is my goal. And the best thing would be, what a nice place, Hyderabad actually. I hail from Gujarat. But we chose this, my Guruji chose this place long back. And then we added much more land after that. He said 100 acres would be good. But seeing the potential of this area, potential of people of Telangana and Andhra, and also India at large, and now I'm seeing the worldwide need. So it has to be a world-class ashram. Those days are gone where we could sit like this under a tree and meditate. But imagine a child who has grown up in an air-conditioned room and you want to change him. How will you change him?
Yes.
It's not going to be possible. So we have to provide such atmosphere so that they feel comfortable and slowly make a difference in their lives. I like to bring a lot of professionals from various backgrounds. I like to bring farmers from villages and teach the modern way of agriculture. I like to bring the teachers and show them newer methods of educating them so that they can in turn teach their students in a better way.
Lot of young people roaming down here, we have seen. What is your message to the young people? They are really suffering with so many things, specifically in this digital world. India is calling the country of the young people. What is your message to them exactly?
Too many messages actually, not one. Fundamental one is master yourself. You are the future. I share with our youth to master themselves, master on their focus, master on their aspirations, and avoid all those distractions that is, luring you in many different directions. When your attention is on your goal, don't allow attention hacking by so many other things. Number one problem they have is digital problems. Number one problem. I said, then why do you get succumbed to it? Nobody is throwing a gun on your head and say, do the social media or go to a porn site and watch porn all your life. It's the biggest distraction. All these rapes are nothing but the result of this porn. And who is responsible? People are giving, this unlimited data sharing at 300 rupees, 400 rupees. Even a beggar can afford this.
Yes.
This is not the responsibility of government to shut down such programs. When 1.2 billion people are populating in our nation, and even if, let us say, 600 million people are watching this, using this phone day and night, and let us say half of that 300 million people are watching porn every night, can you imagine the vibratory level of the country? Every little city, the youth is looking with hungry eyes on little girls. All these rapes and child abuse is a result of all these things. So I do tell them, please. But they say, oh, but it is so alluring. I say, look, I cannot help you on that. You have to make up your mind, what do you really want from this? If you make up your mind that I want this, I can help you. You come and stay with me just for 1 week and see the change in your life. And a lot of people are listening. Even a smoker knows that smoking is bad, yet he smokes. Alcoholics also, they know alcohol is not good for them, yet because of the company they keep, they end up drinking. And so is porn. So are other social media things. Your friend messages you, please respond, and you don't respond, then you have arguments next day. You don't care for friendship and this and that.
Is there any special teachings and program for the younger people here?
Oh, yes.
What are they?
One is fundamental thing, stress, how to de-stress yourself, how to inspire yourself to do better things, how to study better, for example, how to increase your memory, how to prepare yourself that you can have better jobs, how to curb your passion, sex. It's the number one problem today with youth. So we show them various methodology. And because of this, so many changes that happens in their life. See, when you were a child, I don't know how many toys you played with. I played with only 2 toys in my whole life. My father, I don't know if he saw any toys. Today's children act with toys, unlimited choices. I like to share with you something. One girl said, my father always questions me, why am I wearing short dresses and tight jeans and all that. I said, your father has a right to ask. But why is he always after my life? I said, if not him, who else will draw a limit line for you? You tell me, at what time you reach home? It's about 10:30, 11. I said, okay, fine. What do you do? Your college ends at around 3, 4 o'clock. What do you do for the 6 hours? I hang out with my friends. I said, be open. What do you do? This is sometimes we smoke, sometimes we do drugs, sometimes we have a lot of parties. I said, okay, I hear you very well. I will not go much more in details of your parties. But I would request you to fast forward your life. Imagine now you're at 90. You're a 90-year-old lady. Your granddaughter comes to you. Now she's 16, your age. She shares with you the same story. I had party with 2 boys. Would you give your credit card and say, I have 3 more boyfriends? She said, no, I would not do that. I said, 2 boyfriends? No. 1? No. And why are you punishing your parents with your arguments? Says, if you are not going to allow your grandchildren to go your way, why are you finding your way in destroying yourself? Don't you think your father is right? He's drawing a line of limits. Even Mother Sita, I tell her this. When she crossed her limits, she didn't respect the line drawn by her brother, Lakshman, Ram's younger brother.
Yeah.
He drew a line. He said, Mate, please don't cross this line. The moment you cross a line drawn by people who care for you, you are going to pay the price. Forget the destiny part of it. Destiny, it's something we make. But we must observe the rules and regulations laid by our elders. They are meant for our protection, for our welfare, for our growth. So this is the message also I keep telling. Please listen to your parents. They are no fools. They will change your diapers. They have heard you cry. They have heard you smile. They know every little moods that you can go through. So please listen to them very carefully.
You are from which country?
I'm from Russia, Moscow.
Russia. Oh, wonderful. What's your name?
My name is Shakti.
So, what made you to attract this Ramchandra mission?
Oh, I was like my parents meditated, and then I felt like I should start too, and I feel calmer and I feel peaceful, and that's what makes me to practice more, you know.
Are you a student or job holder?
Yes, I'm a student. I'm a medical student.
Medical student.
Yes.
In which year you are?
4th year.
After taking this medicine, what are the changes have you observed in your style of functioning or behavior or something else?
Well, I'm definitely less angry. I'm less anxious. I have less anxieties and stress. So it helps with stress management, especially in medical field when we have to study a lot.
Are you going to teach same thing to your friends after
Yes,
going
of
to Russia?
course. Yes.
Haji, the suicides are also very rising among the younger population for the trivial reasons. How can you deal that issue?
Fundamentally, this particular period after 90s More and more suicides are happening, if you noticed. Before we get into that, I'll share with you a small story.
Yeah.
Actually, it's an episode that happened almost 4 or 5 months back. I was traveling in Maharashtra, small town actually. One of our satsangis asked me, Daji, I have built a beautiful house, and in that house there's a nice basement, and I like to devote this basement for the people, satsangis of my town, so that they can come and meditate in my house. I said, wonderful, you did a great job. He said, would you cut ribbon? I said, I'll be happy to. So he took me, he drove me to his house. A lot of people from the town had assembled there. So the lady of the house, she comes with a plate with a lot of flowers and kumkum and scissor, decorated scissor. So I tried to cut it, but this scissor was not working very well. I tried my hard. It was a blunt scissor. I cut a little bit and push it and cut and pull it, and then finally I tore it off like that. Then I conducted dhyan, meditation to the assembled group. There something revealed to me why that scissor was unable to cut. Two scissors, one pair, because one was blunt, or both were blunt perhaps. In life also, we have two sides to our existence, painful and very pleasurable. We overuse pleasurable side of the scissor of our existence. As a result of this overuse, that pleasurable part of the scissor remains blunt. So you need more and more force, more and more input for pleasure. But the painful part of the scissor of our life remains unaffected. We don't like to touch it. It remains very sharp. Even little bit of inconvenience hurts you. Father tells you, stop doing this, and you feel bad. Mother tells you, please come in time at home. It hurts you. Please don't waste your time playing these video games. People feel bad and they commit suicide. Now, who is responsible for creating such a mass? Our training, I think. People do not have time to teach their children value system, number one. Why? Most families are without grandparents. Grandparents are the one who really can make a difference. Sit with your grandmother or grandfather. They may not speak even one word. Even when you are sitting peacefully without a word with your grandparents, you feel at peace just sitting beside them. It touches you. They don't share knowledge, but they share their being with us. Their presence makes a big difference. That this is how you sit, this is how you communicate, this is how you drink water, this is how you take food, this is how you worship. When you watch them doing all these things, it makes a big impression on our heart. Parents are so busy these days. So, out of guilt perhaps, they throw toys on the children. Okay, boy, whatever you like, you can have. I got everything.
But your scissor story is fantastic. That's a real thing, this world. Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. This campus, again, we're coming into your campus. This campus has the world's largest meditation hall, it seems. Just now we went there. What is the need for such a big place in this day and age for meditation?
Oh, meditation.
You can sit anywhere and meditate yourself.
Yes.
Your teachings and all. You have built so many very big meditation hall.
Well, it makes a big difference actually. We like to create egregore. I'll have to explain to you a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Egregore is a beautiful thing that develops in a very simple way. When we visit temple or a church, the atmosphere is such that you automatically bow down. Automatically that peace engulfs you. Right? When you go to a hospital, you enter with certain state of mind. When you enter a cremation ground, you have certain feelings. So when you meditate alone, or when you meditate with 20 people, versus when you meditate with 40,000 people, it's different. The experience will tell you, even if you don't meditate, just watching 40,000 people in utter stillness, not a whisper, and all are in samadhi. Imagine the charged atmosphere that it can create. You cannot escape the impact of it on your heart and mind. And because of that, we have created this structure. And what to do? Many people, they come together.
Yeah.
We need to provide that facility. We used to meditate, of course, earlier. We used to have a grass thatched roof. And we spent a lot of time. We used to sleep under the hay. But I don't think today's children will be able to do that. So we had to create this structure, at least to attract the young minds.
Daji, you also have a school based on world of method of teaching and an upcoming cricket stadium which was inaugurated by just Rohit
Yes.
Sharma. After that, he has scored some very good century.
Yes.
Could you tell us something about our education system and school?
Education system today, it is filled with feeding informations. There is no real training. Even to get information, child has to be taught how to get information. Experiential, make it experiential. That's what we like to do. Even a small experiment that you do based on Newton's physics or some laws of relativity with Heisenberg's principles, etc. We make them go through the experiential thing rather than giving them information. We like them to teach other students. Teachers will be observing. This is my way of approaching them for education. That's one. Well, as I said, meditation can help us in many different things. I'm not the only one saying. Lord Krishna himself said the great thing that yogaha karmasu kausalam, meaning person who is in a state of yoga, means one who is integrated from within, one who is filled with love. He can deliver a lot. He can study well because he is in a state of love. He loves things. He can play music well. He can cook well. He can eat well. He can have a wonderful family life. He can be a great player. We have few great champions. One is Sindhu. She's our badminton player, right? Champion. And she's our meditator for many years. Her mother had been meditating for almost 20 years.
She was also a volleyball player or something.
Yes, the father and mother both
Father and
were
mother, both are
champions.
volleyball.
Yeah. And similarly, there is another lady, Tanvi Khanna, another meditator. She became the championship under squash championship, world championship. And third is our brother, Rohit Sharma. He gives credits to meditation so much that without meditation, I could not have delivered all these things. And he has a very special way. Say, each time between two balls, I connect myself to my inner being. That is meditation. And between each over, again I get a breather to connect myself within. That is meditation. So it's a practical use of meditation.
You are from?
I'm from the US. I live in New York.
What's your name?
Mamata.
What are you doing there?
So I was working with the charter school system in New York City.
How long have you been here?
I've been staying here since the beginning of December.
December.
Yes.
What are your feelings after following this kind of meditation and all?
Well, I've been practicing this type of meditation for almost 10 years. I started when I was in college. And the difference in my day when I start meditating versus when I don't meditate is incredibly drastic. I always feel better when I wake up in the morning and do my meditation.
Okay.
I feel less stressed. I don't feel as anxious. I have a lot more confidence. I'm able to stick with the routine.
How much time you spend on the meditation regularly?
Every day I spend about 45 minutes in the morning doing the meditation and then doing that cleaning technique in the evening for about 30 minutes.
Everybody is doing that, your parents and others?
Yes, my parents were the ones who got me into this practice. So it's a huge part of my life. It is the foundation of my life in a lot of ways. And I don't think I could have gotten through college or my early 20s without having meditation in my back pocket as a tool to use.
You are from?
I'm from France.
What's your name?
Stanislas.
Yeah, what are you doing there?
I work for the Foreign Affairs Ministry of France.
Prime Ministry of France. Oh. Who told you about this Ramchandra mission to you?
At an early age, I was interested in meditation, and I happened to work at the embassy in New Delhi. And I heard that there is a yogic practice which is helpful and which I can practice by myself. And that would help me, is easily adaptable to my professional life.
What are your experiences?
Well, there is a difference when you have a life with a heart and a life without a heart. So that's a simple difference, but it makes the whole thing totally different.
Is there any special way to teach the meditation to the school-going children?
We have different things that we offer. We have special program like heartfulness, relaxation. We have Brighter Mind, we have Alpha Plus program, which really develop their capacity to observe, capacity to deduce and intuit from the combinations of observations and come to a conclusion. So we have those methods here for children.
What is the next in store for World Heartfulness Center, Kanha Shantivanam?
Well, I like to lash out many programs through this place. I would like to train 5,000 teachers every week from this place and make the best teachers possible. We like to offer yoga internationally. We have been certified by Ayush to deliver all these things. We like to rekindle our Ayurvedic approach. You see, the biggest problem, though Ayurveda is very well respected throughout the world, yet people do not know how to use herbs. Small example, if you may, I would like to share with you. My mother used to tell me, don't take tulsi leaves after sunset because they turn toxic. Before that, they were just fine. After night time, they turn toxic. I thought it is just a religious myth or something. But I learned a lot during my education. I was very fond of pharmacognosy, means these herbs and medicinal behind it. There I learned, there is a drug called digoxin people take for the heart condition. It's a lifesaver. It is derived from a plant called digitalis. This digitalis also behaves like tulsi, that you pick only during certain period during 24 hours. If you take it during other times, the whole ingredient will be different. And third classical example I can share with you is this white radish, muli.
Muli, yeah.
Right? They say if you eat before 12 o'clock noon, it's good.
After 12?
In the evening, if you have it, you produce gas and acidity. You'll have indigestion. So, timing, when you pick all these things. So, I like to teach all these things, especially so-called professionals, Ayurveda professionals, that you must stick to these timings when to pick a particular herb. Just because I say, oh, I picked this herb and it's good for you. No. When did you pick it? Timing is very important.
Is there any specialized training program for the teachers to teach your...
We have extensive program. We have trained more than almost 25,000 teachers in Andhra. I think almost all teachers will be undergoing training in state of Telangana. Many schools in Maharashtra and in Gujarat. Lot selectively, private schools and colleges in Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. It is going on. But I like to systematically bring few thousand in one go and train them these new methodologies. Farmers, new ways of agriculture. And I like brought them towards how to preserve water, how not to waste so much of money on pesticides, chemicals, things of that nature. In a simple way, how we can reduce the consumption of water also. People are blaming the high-rise buildings for the water loss. No. But if you see this free electricity is causing a havoc. I have seen some borewells running even when it is raining in the farmers' fields. And people say, oh, city is wasting money. I'm not against farmers, but they don't care. But the electricity is for free.
In fact, you have a very successful pharmacy business in New York. At the same time, you are also heading this spiritual movement. You are the president of the mission. How do you balance both of these?
It's very easy because the moment you start this meditation, first thing that gets sensitized in you, what must I do first? So, depending upon the urgency of the hour, let us say, I have to do my business. What deal should I make? What must I avoid? So these things become very clear to your heart and you just have to implement it. Next thing is implementation. God can guide you and say, do this, but what if you don't do it? Right? Meditation doesn't take much time, just 20 minutes, half hour early in the morning, that's all. And if this half hour of meditation can save a lot of trouble during the rest of the day, let us see you have 10 things to do. And when you meditate, of course, you will scan through these 10 things that you are supposed to do. And then while meditating on godly presence in my heart, Of course, sometimes these thoughts will come, which is natural. And out of these 10 things, if my heart highlights, don't do this, 2 things if I remove from that list, I save so much of time.
So we have discussed about children, younger generation and all. Now, what is your advice? Would you like to give to the working professionals and especially the women?
I would say, my dear sisters, why are you fighting for equality? Why are you thinking yourself any less? It is perhaps the inferiority that makes you fight and say, I have to become equal. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You are already greater. We respect you. Of course, these sentiments come because of many abuses they may have gone through. But don't let yourself down. You are, to me, age to age, they're more evolved than male counterparts. 100%.
Thank you very much, Daji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Enlightenment to our readers about so many things in the world. Thank you very much for giving us the time.
Pranams.
ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని ఈటీవీ విన్ మొబైల్ యాప్లో కూడా వీక్షించండి.